Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Queers and Soaps. I'm joined by my friend Eric.
Hi guys.
Today, it's kind of a viewer's request. So, thanks to the person who messaged me on Facebook saying that we should cover Degrassi because I love Degrassi. So, we're
Yep.
covering two sets of episodes that are, the two sets of episodes are two parters. One of them is called When Doves Cry, like the Prince song, and the other one is called Time Stands Still.
I never
Roll.
seen a lick of Degrassi. Never seen a lick
Never.
of
That's
it.
perfect because then I will fill you in. Roll the credits. These two episodes, the reason why I picked those two episodes is because they're iconic. Well, okay, I guess I'm not going to say iconic just because they do deal with serious issues. But if you've heard of after school specials, right, Eric?
I've
I
seen
believe they
my share.
Yeah, I think they covered them better than after school specials. I think they covered the issues that are addressed here better than after school specials. One of them is an issue that's kind of more recent. The other one's an issue that's like, unfortunately it happens, but I'm glad that they covered it. So let's start with When Doves Cry, which is season 2, episodes 1 and 2.
So I didn't know many people. So I have this boy Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Is this his first episode
This is his
or
first episode, yeah.
oh okay. They call him Craigers, which I thought they were saying Gregers, and I'm like,
Right.
so I called him Greg for a while. I told you I don't know anything. I have that he comes home, he missed dinner, and the dad is pissed. And I put, does he beat him? Because I didn't know what
Hey.
was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I predicted it pretty well. It's apparently back to school, so I guess they're off of summer vacation.
Yeah, they're off of summer vacation. So last year, they were grades. So the Manny and Emma set were grade 7, and the Paige and Craig set are. I don't know if Paige is in this episode. Is Paige? She was the blonde
She
kind
is.
of. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Paige is in it.
And the Paige Craig set are in 8th grade last year. So they moved up, and when they moved up, the 8th grade set thought they were going to go to high school, but something happened with the Grassy High, and they merged them into a middle school and high school hybrid.
Uh,
Unfortunately, the middle school gets kind of dropped in the series, because they focus more on like the high school end of it. So
okay. Now, do you know the history of Degrassi by chance? Like, how long has it been around for? Or
So this iteration starts in 2001. No. Yeah,
oh,
2001.
okay.
Or is it
But it's
2002?
been around longer than that, right?
Yeah, it's been
Because
around
this.
longer than that. So there it goes all the way back to like the late 70s with the kids of
Oh,
the
wow.
Grassy Street. Yeah. And then
Really?
and they're basically are like specials. Maybe I think they were even considered after school specials at that point.
Oh,
Um
wow.
then in the late 80s we have Degrassi Junior High and Degrassi High later in 1989. Um, and then in the middle there in like the wilderness, I guess if you want to quote Doctor Who, in like the kind of wilderness period, there was the Grassy Talks, which is like which isn't like canon, I don't think, but
Okay.
it does have like the actors talking about serious issues and stuff like that. This was in the 90s.
Because
And then
this
this
one is called
iteration started.
Degrassi,
Actually,
The
let me get
Next Generation, right?
Yeah, let me. In fact, I think 2001 was when it started in America. Let me just double check. It was 2001 in Canada, 2002 in America in the US.
What? They come to the
Yeah, so
U.S.,
October 14th, 2001 on CTV.
but it's still a Canadian show.
Yeah, it's a Canadian show.
And is it still on currently?
Nope. It and
Oh,
this iteration ended in 2015.
that's
And
sad.
then there was the next class. There was next class that I think next class. Wait, this next class. Next class was on from 2016 to 2017, and then it ended. In 20, it got officially canceled in 2019, but there were 4 seasons.
Okay.
It was just the next iteration of Degrassi that wound up on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's done now. It's
So it's
canceled.
done. Yeah, there was supposed to be a reboot on HBO Max, but with all the merger mess and everything like that, it never happened.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's sad.
Yeah, they should bring it
Because
back
especially
because like a lot of the
something
cast
that's been around since the '70s. Yeah, for sure.
mhm, a lot of the cast members are still like they're still kicking with they're still alive and kicking, so
Yeah, but what did they have to? What can they do? Because isn't it like based in high school, or are they?
well, so this iteration actually comes from so that's why in Time Stand Still, we'll get to that later. You see some adults because some of the
Okay.
adults were in Degrassi High and Junior High. So
Oh.
so those are the kids. So Joey Jeremiah in this episode was in Degrassi Junior High and High.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
But back to When Doves Cry.
when those cry,
So
yep.
I have so they're back to school. Something that the teacher or whatever says they might have to share lockers. I'm like, what?
Yeah, because of the merger, yeah.
Um, I have Paige is all mad because she has a mullet. Um, I put girl with brown hair asks about her summer. Paige Paige is mean to her.
So her name is Ashley.
Okay.
So the previous season, I think it was the last episode of the season that actually she has a party, takes ecstasy, and she goes so crazy. Well, I mean, they're not too crazy, but she goes like so off the wall that she insults all of her friends and like
Which one?
kisses
Paige?
Ashley,
Oh,
the
okay.
brown hair girl. Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
yeah. So that's why everybody's mad at her. They're still mad at her from over the summer.
I put Craig is like taking pictures with
Hmm.
this kid, and I put who's this kid? First of all, I thought it was a boy, but it's actually a girl, and it says half sister Angela.
Uh huh.
Um, I put these two kids are looking for girls on a computer.
So that's
I,
JT and Toby.
I was gonna say I got JT, and then
Hmm.
Toby. I got his name later because he was more prominent in the next set of episodes, I think.
Hmm.
Um, Child mentions seeing Craig to her dad. I didn't know his name's Joey, right?
Yeah, dad's name is Joey. So the child was Angela, right? That you mentioned.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. And I put he does photography because he has like a photography basement, this Craig boy.
Hmm. A dark room, yeah.
Uh,
When
Craig
dark
brings
rooms
up
were
his
still a thing.
yeah, right. Craig brings up his mom. His dad gives him a dirty look. Apparently, the mom left him for a car salesman. I don't know
Yeah,
if that's
Joey. He
true.
left him for Joey. So she left the dad for Joey.
So who's Craig's mom?
Craig's mom is dead.
Oh, she's dead.
Yeah, she died. Yeah.
So then what is he talking about? What? I'm
So
confused.
the car salesman is Joey.
Okay.
Angela and Joey are
So
half brother and sister. So
the dead mom hooked up with Joey before she died?
yeah, so
Okay.
she left Craig's dad for Joey.
And
They
then
got
died.
married and then he died. Then she died. I'm sorry, she died.
Okay. I have JT. Oh, I put kid with hat because I didn't know his name. JT wants to carry Paige's bag. She says, "Go back to your girlfriend," referring to Toby, I guess.
Yeah,
Over there. Craig talks weird in front of his class because he's like awkward, I guess because he's new. He says
yeah,
weird
he's new.
things. Craig talks to Emma. She forgot him from 5 years ago. I guess.
Yeah, they were. So it's explained in the episode they went to summer camp together. But
Uh,
the character was never mentioned like in season one at all. So this is his first season there.
um, I have Joey sees Craig's dad, and his Craig's dad's a dick and speeds off. But I didn't know the situation, so that explains it.
Yeah.
Um, JT asks Paige on a date. They laugh at him. Dude says he will give her $30 because I don't know the guy's name. What dude
Wait,
says he will give
was it Spinner?
maybe.
Was
I
it
don't
the
know his
did
name.
he had like did he have like reddish hair?
Whoever the dude was, because there was a girl and the dude with Paige.
I think that was Spinner.
Okay. He offered her $30 to go on a date with JT. Um, Angela's dad says Craig doesn't want him to see Angela. I guess Joey talked to Craig about it, I think.
Hmm.
Um, Craig's dad kicks his ass in his photo room, and that's all I got.
Yeah, that that was cool. That still breaks my heart to this day.
Yeah. So I
Because
guess his
yeah,
dad never
so
gets it together because, well, we'll talk about it in this episode, I guess.
yeah, so like what was I gonna say about that? So it could be assumed that like that Angela and Craig's mom left Craig's dad because he was being abusive to her.
That would make sense.
That would make sense. And then I guess because of custody reasons, they Craig had to stay with the dad.
Or even if he wasn't abusive quite yet, maybe she had left them and then he became abusive to the kids. So it could be multiple things,
Yeah.
really, if we don't
And then they
know.
also mentioned that he's a surgeon too, so that yeah, I wouldn't want him operating on me.
That stretch. Yeah, well, I mean, you could be a really good surgeon and then beat your family, right?
Yeah.
Um, part two. Craig is all bruised up. Dad drops him at school, gives him money, and apologizes, and he says, get a new
So it's money for
camera."
a camera, for a new camera.
Uh-huh. Paige goes to JT and makes a date with him. Craig and Emma hang out to go pick up Angela, and they
Hmm.
go to a park so he can have some time with his little half sister.
Hmm.
Angela is tickling him and sees his bruise, and Craig says like it was dinosaurs that bit him.
Yeah, because remember the in the previous episode there was mention of dinosaurs, so he kind of looped that
Right,
back around to kind of cover up the fact that his dad
he's
beat
being
him.
abused. Joey finds out from Emma about the abuse. Um, Paige is hooded up when she meets with JT for their date. That was funny because she doesn't want to be seen with him, clearly.
Hmm.
Joey finds out Craig was going to take Angela to British Columbia. I guess he was just going to run away because that solves
Yes,
his
he's gonna run
problem.
away. Wonder how much money his dad gave him. I mean, it's
Probably
enough
not
for
much.
yeah, because they said he's like really rich too. Like the surgeon,
Mm,
like him being a surgeon makes him like a lot of money.
maybe he took some money too.
Well,
Joey calls Craig.
I don't think he takes the money. I don't think he takes the money, but that's interesting. But let's put a pin on that in
Sure.
case we decide to cover the series in whole.
Joey calls Craig's dad. He runs and locks himself in his room. Dad tries to bust in. JT and Paige seem like they're having fun. Hazel gives Paige the money. Who's Hazel? That's her friend.
Hazel's the well she's not black. I think she's I forgot her ethnicity. She's because there was a whole episode about
Well, she was the
I
one
think
that
she's
was with the
Iranian.
dude.
I'm not sure. I think she is black. I think she's like half black, half Iranian. She's the one with like the straight hair, like straight like
Okay.
hair kind of like mine, but like it's like a little lighter.
Okay. Craig tells his friend he's leaving. Craig tries to get hit by a train.
Yeah, she was just
His
standing there.
friend
He's
saves
like
him.
Sean was so the other guy that was there with the kid that was there was Sean.
Okay.
He's like, Craig, stop, Craig, stop, and then he like pulls him away. This gets me every time when the freaking um skateboard just like goes up in the air and falls, and you think, what the
Right.
fuck happened? Like,
Speaking of getting hit by a train, I was in New York the other day for The View, and there was this lady that looked a little crazy, and she started like getting on the train tracks in the
Oh
subway.
no.
She put her leg over, like she was gonna either sit down or jump down, and this guy just like screamed at her. He's like, "Don't do that!" And like she just like got up, looked at him, gave him a dirty look, and went back up wherever she came from. I was like, and the train came like a minute later. I was like,
Oh
it could have
wow.
been a mess. But anyway,
We need to talk
now back
offline about the view, so because I want to know how
now
that
back
went.
now back to our show. Um, so Emma goes to tell Joey. She tells him his dad beats him. Angela says she saw his bruises, said that
Hmm.
a dinosaur did it, whatever, basically. Saw
Hmm.
his bruises. Joey and friend
I
find
also
Craig.
like that. I also like that. I also like that Joey didn't initially. Well, not like. I mean, I don't. I also like that Joey didn't initially believe her until she said, until she kept talking, or she didn't even. He didn't even let her talk for that
Yeah,
moment, because that's like such a parent thing that happens.
yeah,
Like
right.
you're in a situation like the kid tries to say no, no, no. Look, I'm trying to tell you, like,
You're
and
like,
because
yeah,
like
whatever,
that, it
kid.
was like it was early 2000s, and you know, I think people still went by the phrase of like children should be seen and not heard. He probably was like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. But then when he put it
Yeah.
together,
I have Joey and friend find Craig by his mom's grave. I wasn't sure if it was his mom's grave, but I
who's
guess
the
it was.
friend? Who's the friend? I'm trying to remember.
I told you, I know nothing about the. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know
trying to
these
remember
people's
who it
names.
was at the grave. I think it might have been was it Sean?
It could have been.
Yeah, who he was by the train track. Who was by the train tracks.
Oh, and then I did put Craig. Well, oh, I do have Sean in parentheses, Joey and friend. So there, I figured it out.
Yeah, and that was
Um,
when. And then the reason why he gets on the train tracks, I forgot. I don't know if you mentioned this and I just missed it. Was because he tells something happened with the dad. Something like he went to see Joey, or something or he called one of them something happened, and then he went upstairs with a golf club and started banging on the door with the golf club.
oh yeah, when
As
it was yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think that's when. Yeah, I did mention it. I know he went in like tried to get in his room, but I don't think he got him that time.
he didn't get him. No, but he had a freaking golf club. Like
Yeah,
he was gonna
he's
whoop
ready
the
to
shit
tear him
out of him with
up.
that golf club. Oh,
See, that's what makes me think he wasn't beaten before until now because of the situation. So maybe he did beat the wife, but now that she's not around, beats the kid.
mm-hmm.
Which I think that was the Knots Landing plot in like season 11. But anywho,
Yeah.
um, Craig admits to Joey that he is abused. Paige talks to JT, says he is a good date. She kisses him on the cheek. Craig goes home to get his stuff. His dad says he's breaking his heart and that he loves them. And Craig goes off with Joey. That's all I got.
Yep.
So what I was going to say is, so when we watch these, the next one is Time Stands Still in season 4. So this is 2 seasons later, and he's still living with Joey. So I'm guessing the dad didn't get his shit together.
Do you
Was the
want to know
dad
the?
ever
Do you
seen
want to? Do you want
again?
to know what
I
happens?
mean, kind of. We're not going to be able to watch all of this stuff.
Okay,
It's
good, good.
years of
So okay,
entertainment.
so later in the season, in the final two episodes of the season, was called "Tears Are Not Enough." I think it's what it's
Hmm.
called. Um, Craig's dad comes back. He just like pulls up on him at the school with him and Ashley. So he winds up with the girl Ashley by the end of the season.
Okay.
Um, he's like really rude to Ashley. I remember it was really funny. But anyway, long story short, Craig tries to, Craig and him try to like, reform the relationship. Craig gets scared that he's going to abuse him again, that his dad's going to abuse him again, and something happened where Craig was late to dinner. So like Craig's dad was going to have him come, go to dinner with him. Something
Okay.
happens where Craig's late to dinner, the dad gets really upset, slaps him in the middle of the like in the middle of like not the middle of the street, but like where everybody can see him, like on the sidewalk.
Right.
Then Craig's like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna do this again," and then we're not doing this again. Craig's dad speeds off in a car and dies, but we don't see the car accident. So this is why
Damn.
Craig is still with Joey.
Nice.
Yep. So Craig's dad dies.
Wow, this show is on off the hook.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
So we get to season 4, episode 7, which is Time Stands Still Part 1. And I'm already in like a culture shock because these kids are older, and I'm like, wow, I just got to know them in these other 2 episodes.
So I think in this
So I
point
have
they're in okay, if they're in ninth, sorry, eighth and ninth grade, ninth and 10th grade, 10th and 11th grade at this, they're 10th and 11th grade at this point.
okay. So I have 2 dudes pick on another dude because I didn't know their name,
Okay,
and
so it
they're
is
picking on Rick.
Spinner. It's Spinner, Jimmy. Jimmy, you might be familiar with. Do you know who Jimmy is? It's the
I
African American,
believe
the
I
African
believe
Canadian
it's
guy.
Drake,
That's Drake. Yep.
but is his name not Drake
Yeah, his
in the
name is
show?
Aubrey Graham.
All right, because I
His
was
real name
looking
is
for
Aubrey Graham.
Drake.
So, and he goes by Drake. His middle name Drake, I believe.
Okay. Because when I saw the credits, I'm like, I didn't see his name, so I'm like, maybe he's just like a very side character. I didn't know.
No, so in the
But that
credits,
makes
he's
sense.
playing basketball with Spinner. So, at least in these
Okay.
credits. So,
Um, so they throw Rick in a dumpster. I put long-haired dude bumps into other dude. Jimmy, I think. Craig is sick. Joey is trying to sell his house. Rick goes to I guess the principal. I put teacher, but I think
yeah,
it's the
yeah, Mr.
principal
Ridage.
about the dudes harassing them. The principal says just get along and basically ignores them and sends them off. So I kind of knew where this story was going.
Yeah.
um, Rick
But did you want me to provide
tells,
some backstory real quick?
yeah, sure.
So the reason that they're bullying him, because there is a reason. Normally, when you're bullying somebody, there's no there's like a minuscule reason, like oh you're different from everybody and that sort of thing. No, this one
Right.
kind of has some merit. So back in
Okay.
season 3, which I realized we could have just covered one episode of that from season 3, so that way we can kind of tie them in.
Mm,
Rick is with a girl named Terry who is friends with Paige and all that group of people.
okay.
She's like a plus she's like a heavy set. Actually, the actress is a plus size model in real life, which is really cool.
Okay.
Um, she she goes out with Rick. Rick is being abusive. Um, and they go out like on like a little thing to like I guess the ravine or something like that. And they didn't want Rick to come with Terry, but like they were like, oh well, Rick likes Terry, so Rick likes Terry, and he's being abusive, but we have no choice in the matter of like who she invites because we're her, that's our friend, that sort of thing. So
Right.
basically like Paige and her group like kind of ices Rick out, and he walks away. Terry walks behind him. They get into an argument. He pushes her, and she falls and hits her head on a cinder block and lands in
Jesus.
a coma. And then she gets transferred out in a cut scene because we think that she's still in the coma, but really, if you watch the cut scene, they mention that Terry is being transferred to another school because of the whole situation, and
Oh
that's how.
my.
And Rick does he get suspended? I think, or maybe he leaves the school, and then at the beginning of this season, he comes back.
Wow, that sounds
He comes
fun.
back, so everybody is pissed that he's allowed to come
Oh,
back because he basically put their friend in a coma.
okay. So I thought this was just like a story of, that what happened. because it still happens and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Rick tells, wait, what does Rick tell Jimmy? I forget. But Toby doesn't. Oh, Rick tells Jimmy that Toby doesn't deserve this. I guess they get punished or something. They like
Um.
get get like forced to do something that they don't want to do, which
Yeah,
is
I
I
think
think the quiz show.
the quiz show. Yep, it's the quiz show. Yep.
Um, I put Lady goes to Joey's. It's Sydney, I think her name is.
Sydney. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They have some words and she leaves. Craig says he should let her help. Now, how
Yeah.
does Craig know this Sydney?
So basically what's happening, and look, I'll forgive you if you want to skip over this plot, but I'll explain it anyway. So Joey's
Please do.
what's the car, because his car dealership is not doing well, so he has to choose between, he has to either move out or sell the car dealership. Well, the car dealership is his job, so he decides to just sell the house and like moves into
Okay.
like to move into a smaller house. Sydney is actually Joey's ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
Caitlin, who you'll see a little later, is also is his current girlfriend, but since high school. But like kind of on and off,
Okay.
they were in an on and off relationship since high school. He does mention somebody named Tessa Campanelli. That's how they broke up initially, because he cheats on her with Tessa Campanelli. We don't see Tessa
Uh,
Campanelli in Next Generation. I think the first episode we do, but I don't think we see her. But she is brought up like in this situation.
okay. Yeah, I was confused at what was happening.
Yeah.
Um, Jimmy and Rick seem to be getting along. They bump into the other bullies. Rick makes some gesture at the other bullies, I guess, because Jimmy like protected them,
Mm-hmm.
and they get
So
all
the other
mad at him or
bullies are
whatever.
named, the girl is Alex, there's Spinner, and then there's Jay. The one who looks
Okay.
like he's like our age.
Okay. Yeah, right. Bunch of them do. Craig is still sick. Then he says he's going to school because I guess Joey's getting on his nerves. I didn't. She's like, he was
Yeah,
gonna
so look,
stay
I'm just gonna
home
go to
and
school, like, bye.
yeah. Rick talks to Emma and thanks her for being his guide. The quiz show begins. Jimmy and Rick bump into the bullies in the bathroom. Who is it? Spinner and what?
Spinner, Jay, and
Jay?
Alex. Well, it
Okay,
wouldn't be
well the
Alex in
girl
this case,
wasn't
it'd
in
be just
there.
Jay. Yeah, it'd be just
Right.
Jay, yeah.
I guess she's waiting outside the bathroom. Says that they are cool and basically they're up to no good. Sydney comes back to Joey's, says he needs help. Um, she says bake her something up and she'll be back or whatever. I guess they're kind of flirty still. I don't know.
Wait, who was that? I'm sorry, I want to make sure.
Sydney?
Oh, Cindy, yeah, Cindy, yeah.
Yeah. Um, as
My eyes glazed
Rick
over because I don't care about that part of the story.
as Rick goes up goes up to I guess the quiz lightning round thing, he whispers that it's all for you to Emma, which is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And they end up winning and stuff dumps on him with feathers.
Yeah, so it's like yellow slime with, not yellow, like yellow, I guess yellow slime, yeah.
I don't know what it is. Yeah,
I have
it's
no
nasty,
idea.
whatever it is.
But if you notice, Alex stands up before the slime hits and then sits right back down after the slime hits and the
Yeah,
feathers. So she
I
did
didn't
it.
notice. Oh,
She
I
was
guess
the one that
nobody
did
else
it.
saw that.
She was the one who did it. Yeah, she was. Well, she was, her and Jay and Spinner did it.
Well, I figured it was them three, but I didn't see her stand up and do that. Um, Emma tries to get through to Rick, like she feels bad for him, whatever. And he ends up kissing her, and then she says that she pitied him. So I knew exactly where this was heading,
Yeah,
basically.
I like that he says. Well, okay, I don't like it because Rick is a creepy character. I like that he says, "But I thought you loved me." Like,
Yeah,
No, no.
yeah, that was weird. Caitlin comes home and asks about Sydney's name being on his lawn. Rick gets home, still a mess. He didn't clean up at all, and he
Can't
whips
clean up.
out a
No.
gun. That's all I got for that episode.
Can you imagine before we get into part two? Can you imagine because this was a two-parter? Can you imagine this cliffhanger? In I guess it was 2004. Wow, this was 20 years ago. Um,
Yeah,
so in 2004, like this was the cliffhanger. I remember when I went to college that people were talking about this episode.
really?
Yeah, I was like, what's the show? Like what like school shooting? What? Because like I didn't have so in America in the United States it aired on the N at the time, which is now Teen
Okay.
Nick. So I didn't have it because it's like a digital channel, like a digital sub channel,
Right.
not digital sub, like a digital cable packet. It was a part of digital cable package that we didn't have.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so I'm like, what's the show? And then I don't know how I first got into Degrassi. I think it was syndication or maybe like osmosis, but but like I got into I got it, or maybe it was like early internet where like I guess it was streaming somewhere. I don't know, but
Right.
I don't remember because it was 20 years ago, so I don't remember. But
I don't
if my
remember.
story changes, it's because I don't remember. So, but
Yeah, right.
yeah, but could you just imagine this being the cliffhanger
Yeah.
where Rick, the kid that's been bullied, the kid that put Terry in a coma, pulls out a gun
Now, how often was the show on? Was it on daily
weekly,
or was it on like weekly? Okay,
weekly.
I gotcha.
Well, at least at this point, it was on weekly. In season 10, they started airing it 4 days a week.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, at night. At night. Yeah,
It's
so
a lot of episodes.
yeah, so that's why. So if we ever get to season 10 and over, it's gonna be a lot to cover. Cause
Right. Time stands still, part two. Emma, Toby, and gang talk about the quiz show. Rick comes back. Still a mess. He didn't
yeah,
clean up at home either. Rick is acting weird. Um, one time, oh, he said this is the one time that he wants to be at school. He says to
which
somebody, I think Toby.
was with Toby. Yeah, which that line gave me the chills.
hmm Principal says on TV if anybody knows what happened to report them.
They can do it
Um,
anonymously.
yeah. Jimmy tells the other bully to do something about what was done. They fight.
They fight. In fact, Spinner punches him with the baseball, which I was like, oh!
Yeah.
He hits
That
him
was a
with the baseball.
basketball, right? Was it a
Basketball. I'm sorry,
baseball?
basketball. He hits him with the
Basketball.
basketball. Yeah, yeah, I'm a woman. I don't know sports that well. So
um, Rick gets in class. Paige goes up to him and says it was sickening and childish what they did to him. He was about to shoot
he's
her.
about to shoot her. Oh
Yeah. I kind of wanted it to be like a standoff. Like I wanted him to hold like the bullies all hostage, kind of, but it didn't happen that way.
no.
It totally went a different way that I thought it was going to go. But I knew people were going to get shot.
Mm.
I just wanted more. I know I'm bad. Um, Caitlin goes um to get to go see Sydney. She offers 375,000 for the house. I think it was going for 400,000.
Hmm.
Well, actually, she says 350 and then goes to 375 because she's like, no, I ain't gonna hook you up that good. And she said make it an anonymous offer so she could save her man's house. Rick finally cleans up a bit. Dude comes in the bathroom and they know that he's in there and they say that Jimmy did it.
Hmm.
I guess to get him off the scent. Because they know that he's in there listening. Rick goes to
Well, no.
Jimmy,
Well,
pulls his
also
gun. Okay.
Also because they knew that Jimmy was getting close to Rick, so they wanted to kind of
Uh,
like,
cause a
you
rift.
know, yeah, put they unknowingly put Jimmy under the bus.
And it gets Jimmy shot in the back.
Yep.
Literally. Um, Rick walks toward Emma and apologizes. She made his list, he says.
Well, no, 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 no,
Um,
no, no. They did. Rick didn't walk towards Emma. Jimmy got shot. Craig saw that Jimmy on the ground, so Craig should have stayed home. Basically, is what we're trying to say. Um, when the gunshots happened, there were kids running away from the gunshots. Sean, Toby, and Emma walked towards the gunshots. Which, okay, so I've done this training called I don't know if you did. I don't know if you did the active shooter training,
no, I mean, I know I did
or
a
at least
module
the
at work,
digital. Like
but
if you did a digital one or something like that. So
yeah.
like that's like one thing that you shouldn't do. Like is to go towards to go towards it. You have to go
No,
away from it. But
yeah, you
then
gotta run.
also if the shooter goes towards you, you have you basically have to fight for your life. Just throw things at him and everything like that because we did
Whatever's around,
whatever's around. Yep.
or even jump at them, maybe. That
Yeah,
would throw
jump
them
at them.
off.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the situation and the gun, really.
Hmm.
Um, hopefully we never have that issue.
No, I hope we don't. Knock on
Um,
wood. This is wood, thankfully.
so he says that she made the list. The dude with her tries to talk him down. Who's that, Sean?
That's Sean. Yeah.
And and then they like struggle for the gun, kind of, and then you don't know who shot,
Yeah.
which I thought was weird. It looked like it was him, but I knew that was
It
Rick.
looked like I think I in the way that the actor like who plays Rick, the way his face went, I kind of like if you see it enough times, you'll be like, oh, Rick actually got shot. So
Right. But
what I
Sean makes
didn't
it
know is
seem
what
like he
happens
got
later.
shot.
Yeah.
Um, and you see Jimmy's being taken out of the school, like on a stretcher with like oxygen and stuff.
Yeah,
Jo-
that made my eyes well up.
Joey finds out about the house offer, tells Caitlin that he basically has too much pride. This is a Ray
Mhm.
on Dallas type situation.
Yep.
I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody
And then
can do a good
escalated
deed for
quick
these
with the school
people.
shooting. So
Right. She gets a call about the shooting. Cop questions Toby. He says Rick is a psycho. He was never his friend. Emmett is in shock. Dude goes off on principal. I don't know who the dude was.
oh, so okay,
I
so
guess.
that's Emma's stepfather, Snake.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
yeah, so he's like he went to you twice, and you just sent him away. Like
Is that is that why he takes over as the principal?
he doesn't take a. That's not the reason why he took over as principal, but he does
Oh, okay.
eventually take over as principal and later in the series.
Hazel finds out Jimmy was shot. The bullies meet up. One bully says it was his best friend. I think that was, I guess that was Spinner,
Yeah,
is his best friend.
yeah. Spinner and
Um,
Jimmy are best friends. Although I don't exactly know why, because like there are many times where Spinner puts Jimmy under the bus in the series. So
right. The reporter lady gets told off by Caitlin. We find out that Rick died. People sit around talking about Psycho Rick. No change for Jimmy, so he's still. I guess he's in a coma. I don't really know.
yeah, I think he's in a coma.
Everyone sits around watching the news. Emma hugs Toby, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
So
What did
yeah,
you think of the episode?
I was entertained. I didn't, any soap-like things we like. Hence why we're
Mhm.
queers and soaps. But, so yeah, I just didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know anybody's names. I didn't know the situation until you explained with me about Rick. I would have no idea. I was just assuming he was bullied and then just had it and then was just shooting
Mhm.
people. Now, I was hoping that yeah, like he'd have like the bullies all together and like he was just like held them hostage kind of like, but that didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
But it was cool the way it was done. Like it was pretty scary and
Uh
intense,
huh.
for kids to watch. But yeah, I liked them. I thought it was good. I liked them.
Yeah. I really like Degrassi. It's like probably one of the best children's series that I've seen.
My friend Felicia was obsessed with Degrassi. I don't know if she still watches it, but she probably does.
Yeah.
But yeah, she used to try to get me to watch it all the time. I'm like, no, no, no.
You have any last words about Degrassi?
No, I wouldn't mind doing more. Maybe is there any other two-parters and stuff that you know of or
Oh, there's a bunch of two parters.
all right. So we could
bunch
always
there's
do
a
them as
bunch of them.
specials. We'll
Yep.
bring you more, especially if the
Mhm.
fans like it. Let us know. Like, comment, subscribe.
Mhm.
And maybe we'll do more.
Maybe we'll do more. So that completes our coverage of Degrassi. It goes there. Remember to like, comment, or subscribe. Remember to like, comment, or subscribe, and follow us on social media at Queers and Soaps. Until next time, bye.
Bye. And happy Pride Month.
Yeah, happy Pride Month! Yay!